So, to start this video off, a few days ago, I uploaded a TikTok. Now, within that TikTok, I was lampooning, I was making fun of a comment that Freak made, okay? And the TikTok is just me making fun of it. Throughout this, I did not do anything really, I didn't, like, personally insult him, at least this time I didn't, right? I didn't do anything of the sort. I thought he made a really dumb comment, and I decided to make a video making fun of it. It did get a lot of views. It did have a lot of people respond to it, blah, blah, blah. Now, that's not what worries me. And this video is me being a bit worried here, okay? What worries me is the responses to this. Now, I'm going to read through the responses people make, and I'm going to categorize them. The category is a death wish on Freak, an actual death threat on Freak, a wish of physical violence on Freak, and then none of the above. And I assure you, by reading through these, you will be shocked how little the none of the above category is. I assure you, this might actually shock you. Now, before I go further, I'll remind you people, okay? Freak is a game designer. He designs the game, okay? He balances the game. He makes wishes on the game, okay? Now, I do think he's arrogant. I do think he's a prick. I do think that he is not a great designer and constantly does changes that I vehemently disagree with, okay? And with that said, at no point should any of those opinions ever lead me to the point where I'm wishing death on a personal rioter. Now, let me remind you, they are using the name Freak here. They're not saying anything about Riot as a company. They're saying this developer, right? At no point should any of your disagreements with his balancing decisions ever lead you to the point where you are giving him you're wishing death on him, where you're actually saying that you might kill him. At no point should you have physically violent wishes on him, okay? He is a designer. He designs games. Y'all have taken this. TikTok, the degenerates of TikTok, y'all have taken this way too far, okay? Way too far. So let's watch my TikTok for the purpose of, you know, showing what's on this, so none of you guys can say, oh, I inspired people to do this. Oh, I took it too far. Let's watch my TikTok.
You can type Karthus ult if you need to, by the way. It's not hard. You can type if you want.
Dearest Karthus, though it pains me to say this, have we fallen apart? Are we no longer? I want you to watch this. Close friends we used. Think of this reasonably. I come to you with a request. If this video should reasonably have inspired to make the replies here that I'm about to read, and for the purpose of explaining just why this worried me, okay? Because again, I think on my phone, I was receiving notifications for the past 2 days because TikTok puts up new notifications, right? And so for the past 2 days, I've been getting notifications on my phone of these people leaving these comments, right?
You can type.
And it got worrying. It got so worrying to me. I became worried. And I felt like I had to make this video because I really had to go over these, okay? So with all this said, and this video will very, very likely be demonetized, but let's read through these comments. Freak should Mundo W in his bathtub. Mundo's W is electrocute. So he wants Freak to go electrocute himself. Electrocute means to have electricity surge through his body until he is dead. So that is that's a death wish. I'm gonna mark that as a death wish. I'll just use an I here, okay? What if Karthus self-mutes Freak? Do I send him a letter? That's a none of the above. That's an actual comment on the state. Okay, good. Jeff Bezos writes, Freak should Talon E off Riot HQ. Well, that's another death wish. Yeah, Freak. I'll type Karthus ult when your mother is on her deathbed. You're welcome. Very inappropriate, but technically none of the above. Does anyone like Freak, like for real? Man-child with power. Technically, once again, none of the above. Another one, fire Freak. Okay, none of the above. We're doing good here. Freak should go 0-1 IRL. Okay, that's a death wish. Would pay so much cash to watch Freak get hung. So once again, that's a death wish. I hate Freak so much. None of the above. Good job, everybody. None of the above. Nobody likes the changes Freak made. Please remove him from the balance team. Okay, that's a reasonable reply to him. Fire Freak and Maxwell. Freak is out of touch, and Maxwell designs champs that cover their class weaknesses and are night-mailed to balance because of it. Probably the most reasonable statement made so far. Okay. Freak needs to GPQ himself. Game blank skew is the pistol shot. Okay, so that's another death wish. That is another death wish. Freak will feel God's anger when he must explain why he destroyed every single part of the game. Technically, none of the above. Riot Freak alive. Now that's a ping on Riot Freak. I'm not really sure if that's a death threat because they're pinging him alive. I'm going to put that as none of the above, but that one's a bit questionable. Fire Freak. Okay, none of the above. If you legit sticked a bunch of challengers on the balancing team, the game would be a lot more balanced than with this freak show. Funny, I use the word freak. None of the above. The fact Freak is actually still being arrogant is insane. Okay, none of the above. Someone cart this alt Freak in-game, obviously. Despite the joke here, in-game, obviously, the actual idea is a death wish on Freak. So, okay. Freak need to GPQ himself. Once again, as I explained earlier, that's a death wish. Freak Cosante alt off a building. That's a death wish. Freak need to Mundo W in the bathtub. Wow, that's another death wish. Someone poppy alt Freak off Riot office. That's a death wish. These aren't even physical violence. This is all just hoping he dies. Dear God, TikTok. Dear God. Freak should be fired and never allowed to work in any gaming studio again. Technically, none of the above. Actually, not even technically. Why is Freak allowed to be a dev? None of the above. Freak is Delulu, but hey, what do you expect from dude who's making the spaghetti coat and hard stucking silver? So actually, Freak isn't hard stuck silver, nor does he do the spaghetti code. So what? But did I already record that as none of the above? That's none of the above, but it's actually horribly wrong. Freak needs to actually off himself. Okay, that one's not even using a pun. That one's just an actual death wish. That one's just an unabashed death wish. Okay. Freak should get Mordekaiser ulted. So that would send him to the death realm. I'm gonna include that as a death wish. Freak need to proc Karthus passive. Karthus passive procs when he dies. So that's a death wish. Freak should use Mundo W in Bath IRL. That's also a death wish, and someone else already made that joke. Can someone Caitlyn ult Freak? Now that would be a gun. So this guy's asking, can someone actually shoot Freak? Okay, that's another death wish. Okay. I think they should remove ability hotkeys and instead you should type the name of the ability to use it. Okay, that's none of the above. Freak need to Zach E out of Riot building. Okay, that's gonna be another death wish. Okay. Fire Freak, thank you. That's none of the above. Okay, that's just asking for him to get fired. Okay. You know what I'll do? I'll move these over here. Like I'll press enter and move these into their own category so you can kind of like compare easier where they are. Freak need to Talon E over a window. Okay, that's a death wish. While we're at it, Freak, change the ability hotkeys like old Dota days. Keys on L, N, or P, so there will be less time to type. Okay, it's stupid, but none of the above. I would get a year chat ban if I said what I think about Freak. Okay, well that's none of the above, but it's a bit ominous. Hopefully Freak was saving the bait ping for a special occasion. I don't know what that means exactly. Like that sounds kind of, because the bait ping is the hook, so this kind of sounds like he's wishing him death. I'm gonna be dead honest. I'm not really sure how else you could take this. This seems pretty much like a death wish. Freak needs to get Pike ulted IRL. Okay, so that's definitely a death wish once again. I want you guys to notice how many of these comments are death wishes, because once again, as I said, it's a bit concerning. Okay, we are reaching concerning amounts of death wishes. Okay, and this isn't my audience. Okay, I don't have like a huge TikTok audience. Okay, I don't. I assure you, I don't. These are just random people who saw my video. More people watch this video than the amount of people subscribe to me is 1/50th of the amount of people who just only saw this video. So don't think this is like my audience saying all this, okay? Just fire Freak. Dude needed to go a long time ago. Well, that's none of the above. Freak needs to Yone R into break wall. Ooh, is that a death wish? That's like a physical violence wish right there. Yeah, I'm gonna count that as physical violence. I don't think I would kill him, but okay. Freak is single-handedly ruining a game that's existed for 14 years. Okay, that's none of the above. Why Freak isn't 01 IRL? Well, that's a death wish. Freak is fucking retarded. That's none of the above. Fuck Freak. That's none of the above. Hope Riot HQ gets zigged while only Freak is inside. Well, that's a death wish. Riot Freak alive. I'm going to call that none of the above, but, you know, based on these comments, I think it could be assumed what they're saying here. This is the Riot equivalent of let them eat cake. I hope Freak has the same fate as Marie Antoinette. Well, he started off kind of funny, then he gave him the old death wish. Freak, please 01 IRL. Death wish. This goes on for a while, I assure you. My phone was ringing for 2 days. Well, I should say vibrating. Freak is such a great... Okay, I'm not going to read that one. Praying that someone uses Kog'Maw passive on Freak. I think that's physical violence, because Kog'Maw passive doesn't really kill people anymore, but I think we can assume that they might have wanted more than that. Freak needs to Gragas W and drive. That's drink and drive. So, presumably, this is a death wish. I'm just going to call that a death wish. Is Freak acoustic? Maybe. Freak needs to GP full Q in his head in game. That's a death wish. Freak, please Talent E from Riot HQ rooftop. Manchild, okay, blah, blah, blah. That's a death wish. Cho'Gath ult, lethal dose of cyanized Freak, please. Okay, lethal means death wish. Okay, we are well into death wishes. My God, this game died when he got put in charge of all the decisions. That's none of the above. Have we fallen apart? Ah, the first thing about my joke. The first comment that my joke is funny. Thank you, Prime Y. Thank you, Emilio. You know what's easier than typing for Karthus ult? To just mute pings if you are getting harassed with them. That's none of the above. Thanks, Freak, for being the biggest cancer League has ever had to deal with. That's none of the above. Stops mid-fight to say Karthus R, then loses because I stopped to type. That's none of the above. I didn't know Freak was acoustic like this. That's none of the above. I wish Freak started playing Persona 3 IRL. Okay, I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure what Persona 3 is, but the way that he said it like that leads me to believe this is a death wish. I've never played Persona 3, but I'm going to use the insinuation here, the surrounding context clues. I need someone to Ziggs ult Riot office. Okay, that's a death wish. You can type has do y'all not have phones energy. Thank you someone for getting that this is a joke here. Fire Freak. It's none of the above. Actually, I cannot type. None of the above. Thrush. Freak needs Thrush Q IRL. I think that's physical violence because Thrush Q doesn't kill you, but that is still a wish of physical violence. I'm a pick Karthus and self-mute in Freak's game. That's none of the above, actually. Despite it sounding really much like violence, that's actually not. Rust Blitzcrank. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to put none of the above, but I suspect that might be some sort of physical violence. I thought this was a sandcastle video. I don't, okay. Is he acoustic? That's none of the above. Yep, when my laner is low after a fight, I can get out of fight and type cart this ult, please, before my laner gets in base. Haha. That's none of the above. That's a joke about my video, thank you. Actually, I can't type. That's because you're muted. It's like Corky needs to package straight into Riot HQ. That's a death wish. I'm still unironically, getting noticed over this. I'm telling you, okay. LOL, not having voice comms like Dota is actually a crime. That's none of the above. Good job, people. We're doing it. We're sticking to the point here. They should apply this to pro side as well. In-game pings and chat ought to be enough to communicate. Thank you for talking about the issue. I don't get why you just can't ping it once. Thank you. Thank you. It's actually talking about this. I got chat banned for a year, so how can I do that? None of the above. I really need Freak to Tristana W off Riot HQ building. 3,900 upvotes. Death wish. So first they say to disable chat to avoid toxicity instead of replying, then they say to type instead of pinging. So what if you have both in the same game? True. But none of the above. True though, true comment. Freak needs to rope max. Yep, that's a death wish right there. Nearly 900 likes on that one. What if I'm muted until the 6th of December? What do I do? Nothing. What about deactivated chat though? I should have made a category for people complaining about chat mutes. I will email my Curtis when I need him to ult. None of the above. Someone telling this to their friends. None of the above. Did I get this right? Devs are removing pings instead of giving timeouts to them so you can't spam? That would be classic Rito move. It would be. Then 2 people just adding their friends. Imagine if your chat restricted, you just don't get anything at all. It's pure hell. Yep. Harry, comment so true. You're right, Harry. Holy Aatrox is so broken. I love my champ. I love you, buddy. Sorry, my bad. I will stop teamfighting to type. Then another guy adding his friends. We made a game that needs cooperation with old players. A few years later, we made some champs that don't need team and we delete team tools. Sure, none of the above. I'm going to go through all of these. What if you're chat restricted for 2 years? I should have made that a category. How do I do if I'm chat restricted for 1 year? And then another one complaining about chat restriction. Then another one complaining about chat restriction. Wow, right. How many people have you chat restricted, buddies? Someone adding a friend. Ping was so, I noticed all the death threats were upvoted to the top, by the way. Because now we're at the bottom where nothing is an upvote. Ping was supposed to be for fast communication. Now they want to use chat. Ha 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 ha. Riot. True, actually. Why are we even? But if pings are supposed to be fast communication, now we're doing that. Okay. What if you're chat restricted because Riot thought you were sarcastic after saying "good job, team"? You can get chat restricted for saying "good job, team." You better provide proof for that one. Another chat restriction quote. In Dota 2, it's impossible to ping the abilities of dead teammates. I think that makes more sense when playing. Okay, good suggestion. You can't just type enemy facing danger. Okay, I'm gonna start doing this. We can run 2 categories. 3, none sure. Sometimes real times are bugged. It's also not hard to mute pings. Dark Souls. Yep. Another complaint of chat ban. Okay, I think we're through all the death threats. Oh no, Freak should talent E over balcony. This Freak guy needs to go permanently AFK IRL. 2 more death wishes. Every video I've seen of Freak lately, he's kind of been a prick. What happened to the youthful exuberance whimsy we saw in the old champion spotlights? True. Why is he kind of being a dick, though? I mean, not the, Freak needs to take a bath with his toaster plugged in. Death wish. Riot, please fire Freak. That's none of the above. I usually defend Riot. Blah, 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 blah. None of the above. Freak is running the game. None of the above. Freak needs to be fired ASAP. Holy. None of the above. Freak should go 0-1 IRL. Death wish. Guy needs to get a new job. None of the above. How many more do we have to go through? My God. I'm literally either deafened or chat restricted. Chat restricted. Riot games themselves. I'm muted. Chat restricted. Proximity chat. Another stupid joke. Type winner chat banned. Okay, another chat restricted guy. Fire anyone balding by 30 that is below diamond. Okay, well, that's just mean, buddy. The dude can bald and be a game designer. That's just mean. Me with the only party chat enabled because 99% charge is shit. You can also stop being a little sissy. That's just rude. Fire all the people responsible for this anti-toxicity bullcrap. None of the above. 1 year chat restricted. How am I supposed to communicate? This guy is the worst. I should have made a category for people complaining about being chat restricted. Apparently all of y'all are chat restricted. Somebody should start a petition to fire that guy. None of the above. Me, a hard suck for Emerald players. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I think we got through all the death threats. There's, boy, there's a lot of comments. Okay, there wasn't actually that many more. I could have spent 3 minutes on it getting through it. So, with all the death wishes commented at the top, we have about a rate here. About a third of the comments. If I went to the end, hopefully he'll Pike Q himself. He should go 0-1. Blah, 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 blah. Oh my god. Okay, so about a third of the comments were death wishes. If I recorded it to the end. Physical violence. I thought there were actual death threats. I thought people were saying they would be the ones to actually do it, but apparently they were wrong. Okay? My point here, people, the point I'm trying to make. Nearly a third of the goddamn comments here were death wishes on Freak. What is wrong with you people? Seriously. Come on. Dude. Okay, I got nothing more to say in this video. I just wanted to make this because this is absurd. Okay, guys, look. He's a game designer. He designs games. Even if you disagree with him, okay? He's a game designer. He's not making global policies. He's not a politician. He's not crafting a tyrannical regime. He's not removing your rights. He's not shooting people, okay? There is no need for this level of escalation. Y'all need to cool down. You're too far. You're too big. You're at like this level. You should be down here. You're up here. Get down here, okay? You're too high up. Okay, everybody? Cool. That's this video. Cool it, everybody. Calm down. Okay? So, everybody, cool it. And you know what? Everybody, have a great rest of your day. See you, everyone.